Yeah, that's what it takes. Going up against an undefeated team. And, well, folks, we're going to see just that. We've got Nova 2 versus the Petting Zoo on the field. Getting a rematch from their Swiss format where Petting Zoo found one win, but not the entire Nova. 3-1 defeating them. Can they do it again to secure that final spot? Well, we see something different. Oh my, semifinals, top 4. It's an achievement already for these teams, Galgan, but boy, are they looking at that top 2 situation and thinking, I want to be there.
And watching this semifinal kickoff here brings me back to the early moments where we saw Nova 2 in the first match of Swiss. This time around, it is not the player I was going to allude to that captivated me by name, Gweep Me Now, but instead it is Powerful Lord to get the first, start Nova 2 on the right foot here towards their path onto the grand finals. There's plenty to be done. Petting Zoo not out of it by any extent. We keep saying that, but this team has a massive amount of fight back in their veins. They're already generating opportunities off of this kickoff and wasting no time trying to get back in.
Yeah, said it before, I'll say it again. Duck and Zero, those 2 players to watch out for. They almost combined there for their first goal, but well, this defense of Nova could be the quickest in the tournament right now. You've got to play creatively when you're looking for gaps in the defense because at the very minimum, the standard shot should be contested by the players of Nova. And here come the players of Nova indeed. Gweep has a good flip reset that takes it past one defender off the backboard. Powerful Lord, our first goal scorer, coming at the ball once again. A good center here, and Doogie wasting no time adding to the scoreline.
Quick pushes here. Powerful Lord, really solid flip cancel there from the sidewall to keep level with that ball falling down. It's those little mechanical moments that you don't exactly notice right away when distanced from the ball, but it makes all the world of difference here for Nova 2. Looking confident at the onset of this series, leaving very little to speculation. Petting Zoo, again, searching for opportunities off of the kickoff, but a bit afraid to commit all of their offensive push forward here at the same time for fear of being caught out by Nova 2 and their efficiency to get the ball moving back the other way. They head to the corner once more. Powerful Lord with a similar look at his setup. That one not as successful as the previous. Nova 2 going to be content with 2 goals for now. So near that halfway mark here, Pyro and Petting Zoo just looking for a way out here. Ever since it gets neutral after the kickoff, they've been a little slow on the jump, but there it is. Confusion on the goal line. Zero credited with the goal. Petting Zoo have their foot in the door.
This is what they needed. Zero. I asked for unique touches. The bounce touch, definitely a creative shot and one that manages to get away from Nova. I think there was a second shot taker trying to slot in, make it the connection, and I think the defenders were more focused on that rather than the whiff that would slide right past them. So, Petting Zoo, one way or another, get that goal on board. It's not an approach they can stick to or be convinced of every single time, but it's a leg to stand on as they try to move their way back into equalized territory. It is their enemy's territory that they're back in right now, and Duck, a bit of a free look here for the equalizer.
Yeah, only a tad bit confusing, looking for those defensive rotations, but everybody playing a bit too heavy-handed to the wall there for Nova, so not too sure. A little bit of a misread where that ball was ending up, but it leaks through the corner, and the Petting Zoo able to grab that goal, equalize the game, level heading with about 2 minutes to play. Honestly, where they want to be in this position. They'd love to get a lead out early, but with the start that Nova 2 have had, Petting Zoo has got to start feeling a bit more comfort knowing that they have what it takes to get this game all square. Gweep looking for more on the dunk, but doesn't connect hard enough to get it past Duck. Now Doogie in the middle of the field leaves this one open, but the mistouch from the first. Good challenge on the pickup, though, for Petting Zoo on that second opportunity. Nova starting to get more aggressive, throw more people towards this offensive push. So the faster Petting Zoo can neutralize those opportunities, the better, because the closer it gets, the more threatening it is here for Nova 2 as they go to the back wall yet again. Oh, this is an open ball, though, but Gweep wins the race.
He's there back in enough time. Does find Doogie on the other side wall, and well, Nova, they're taking this game to the skies here to try and hold on to possession. It doesn't last very long, though. He with a clear Al Doogie to pick this ball up as we cross that 1 minute mark here. It's funny, game one of the last series, we had 2 goals from the losing team. And then the next 2 goals came from the winning team, and then they won in overtime. You wonder if that trend will continue here, and the Petting Zoo will take this to OT and win the game. Almost not so much off the crossbar. Powerful Lord takes up the backboard as well. Maya He tries to defuse the play, but more is coming from Nova. Backboard touch once again. Goalie bump doesn't connect, though, so Duck finds a way out. 30 seconds now before we enter a potential overtime, but this shot could come in at any moment off the backboard. There it is! A meteor strike from Powerful Lord to give them back the lead.
Nova 2 are doing such a solid job of making Petting Zoo scramble down deep. They did it for the entirety of that previous sequence before the clear comes through, and when they get the ball back moving towards the offensive side there, Nova 2, they waste no time putting it back on target and forcing Petting Zoo out of line here. Gweep goes to the back wall, and Powerful Lord with a challenge. They both register as shots. 10 seconds to go, and the ball's moving down the correct way, though, for Petting Zoo towards the bar. Second touch, big save. Powerful Lord, can anybody get in front of the next one? Yes, it is Gweep to register. 2 massive saves there, back to back for Nova 2. One last opportunity to the back wall. Nobody's up for it in time. The shot is lobbed and away. Gweep tries to defuse it and gets it going, but it's lobbed up once again. Petting Zoo all swarming around. They're all so close, and all it took was one challenge sent to the side. A glimmer of hope at the end of game 1, but unable to snatch it away. It is Nova. Quite an electric finish to that one for the first game of the series, but Nova still take the dub.
Oh my goodness. A cement wall in the last 10 seconds or so, where the shots were fired, the crash into the boards, every rebound going in the way right there of the Petting Zoo, but they couldn't find that third goal. Here's the thing, though. We talk about the Petting Zoo coming against the undefeated team in this format, and still they're able to keep it so close. I couldn't believe how long the scoring stayed at 2-2 and how much bar for bar kind of the Petting Zoo were able to keep up with Nova. So I'm very impressed at that effort. Being able to contain an explosive offense from Nova is no simple feat. So it paves the way for a good match here to stay close, but man, that's got to be devastating for Petting Zoo to not be able to come away with that goal and force OT.
It really is sad, but like you're saying, it lines up with our records. It makes sense why this series could have potentially gone to 5 games, because Petting Zoo are right there. They feel like they are on it on this particular evening of play, which is equally important as well with these 2-day events. Sometimes you'll see a team get off to stronger starts in the qualifiers than you will in the playoffs, which is unfortunate for them. But for the Petting Zoo, doesn't really seem to be that different. They've gone up against strong teams in the Swiss, not gotten the series wins, but at least gotten some meaningful experience. And now with at least a little bit of Nova 2's playbook downloaded, they're looking to fill in the rest of those blank pages. But doing so in the middle of a best of 5 takes an immense level of skill here for the Petting Zoo. So their work cut out for them here as we get underway, well underway, mind you, in game 2 of this best of 5.
Well underway indeed. It's funny to see the tempo continue from the latter half of game number 1, in that, well, these players pose threats, but just aren't able to have that finishing factor. Cannot slot that final shot. Infield passes galore, though, for Nova, as they're looking to find one of these shots to make the back of the net, but they're all kicking off the backboard here. gives them good possession to work with, can whittle away the resources of Petting Zoo, but these long and wide rotations that we're seeing right now from Nova aren't really conducive to forcing that shot, instead seeming more powerful on the counter attack. Look at this pass, powerful to Gweep. Gweep can't leap to the ball in enough time, and the shot is saved by Zero. Petting Zoo staying strong on defense, but oh, Gaugen, this is a lot of defense to play for a team that needs to start getting a tally on the scoreboard.
Petting Zoo are certainly strong, but they're also clumped up. They're sent back so deep in their own zone. You have Doogie now going off of that back wall almost, nearly flush with it, but this one's leaked through, and Powerful Lord has to make a touch. All of a sudden, they've snuck this ball back the other way, and as time continues to go down here, you've got to like Petting Zoo's chances to try and set themselves out in front, and not with the situation where last game they have to get their foot in the door and see where they can run from there. Rather force Nova 2 to play more fundamental Rocket League, because this blue squad is thriving in the chaos right now, looking for all of these stretched out touches. Like you said, they're playing wide from each other, and it's not necessarily conducive to the strongest shots here, but it certainly could keep Petting Zoo guessing as this game continues on. The true question, though, is which style of gameplay will prevail, because when both teams are feeling comfortable, they are dangerous forces to be reckoned with, and confusion, as I say it this time, benefits the Petting Zoo. Maya He credited the defender, sent it in, and Petting Zoo have a lead.
Well, we all learn in Rocket League, but this is the hard way to learn goal line positioning. That ball can careen right around that goal line, and if you're in your net, you can kick it out. If you're on your goal line and towards the rest of the field, then, well, it's going to land in your own net. So, Nova, after a string of strong shots that are cradling around the posts and some forcing defenders to make saves, they're going to give up one concession that, well, could be very dire. They're having a hard time finishing some of these shots, and we're already under 2 minutes remaining. Powerful Lord trying to be that saving grace right now for Nova, but that shot not necessarily getting through to them. They are still kind of expanding their range on the field, but it feels as these seconds continue to get shaven off the clock, they're going to start making these rotations tighter and firing away a little quicker.
You would hope to see that as we continue on. Gweep takes to the skies, denied by Zero early, but heading to the back wall, and Powerful Lord plays this out to the side. Could go for a second as well, and so fast to that, but the connection in the middle is not going to be there. Powerful Lord, though, demoed, and it opens up enough of a window there for Doogie to punch it home. Chasing the demo a bit on the defensive half rather than staying in shadow. Tough ball to read, but it is Nova to come out the better, tie things up just before that 60-second mark.
And it makes you wonder even more about the playstyle of Nova. As soon as they get scored on, they don't take that long to score right back. It seems if these players apply themselves more aggressively, they can really find the shots that they've been looking for all along. Matter, the Petting Zoo has just put up a grand wall of defense that only crumbled at that moment. Either way, we have an even scoreline here, under a minute remaining, so Petting Zoo want their chance. They may need to find this goal in regulation time instead of Nova. As they do move up the field, Gweep has a chance. Good air dribble past one, but Duck takes on 2 shot takers to bat that ball away. Half a minute remaining, and the Petting Zoo still scrambling on their defensive.
We've been in this position before, but Nova took advantage, and they're looking for it again. Possession control that deep in the zone, but now a big challenge works out for Maya He. Doogie wins the race, though, defensively, and gets it moving back towards the midfield line. 10 seconds to go, another lob, and this is starting to look good for Petting Zoo. Opportunity abound. Powerful Lord forced to play it out, and now Nova moved back down the other way. Big challenge, bounces off the sidewall. It's a beautiful lob, but nobody was ready for it, and everyone lets it hit the ground. We are given the overtime we thought we were promised in the previous game, this time in game 2 of the series, with Nova threatening a match point.
Yeah, Petting Zoo so close to scoring that 0-second goal in the last game. And then, well, Nova in this game almost scoring it to seal the deal. Now they've got a great chance in overtime. Backboard read not there, but the follow-up most certainly is. Doogie takes advantage of the situation with the defenses broken down. Doogie's there to strike.
Oh, this is so bittersweet to watch. The replay cannot be good for Petting Zoo right now. That is the result of a bump from the two defenders. They surely had to get up into the air faster than they were, but the fact that they collided had sealed their fate. Petting Zoo unable to get in front of the ball when it mattered most. They did have the edge in saves registered there in game 2, but the one that would have kept them alive was nowhere to be seen. So Nova, they take advantage here in overtime. You mentioned that when these players feel like getting a bit more aggressive in the rotations, pushing up, playing closer to each other and looking for those shots, they typically find success. And I feel like that's what Nova does here in overtime to take advantage of the fact that Petting Zoo aren't responding as quickly as they need to defensively. So you start to wonder, you know, where's the trade-off? Where's the adjustment there from Petting Zoo to play a bit closer themselves and try and drive a wedge through everything that Nova's trying to set up?
Yeah, it almost feels like maybe we need to see a little up into the ante from the Petting Zoo right now, where Nova, when they do go aggressively, they're able to push so hard. But here's the other thing, Galgan, is I still have questions right now about the offense from the Petting Zoo. The only goal we saw from this team was one that kind of moved down the goal line, and then it was Powerful Lord that had the unfortunate touch, the own goal into their own net. So the Petting Zoo needs some convincing here. I need to see a goal where they are the last ones to touch the ball rather than Nova too. Otherwise, Nova, they've just had the better looks on offense, including that one. Doogie almost scores first right there.
Could not have said it better myself. It's been some solid neutral game, but Petting Zoo lacking that clinicality offensively. Look at this monstrous clear, however, from the back wall. Doogie racing for it. Oh my word. It gleans off the ceiling ever so slightly into that farther side, but what a way to get your first goal.
That almost seems unfair. Like, come on, really? That's gonna just perfectly land in the net, and then almost another one. Okay, never mind. We're even now. Petting Zoo, they get away with a very close one there, surviving by the skin of their teeth, and maybe able to pull together another one themselves. Duck with the pass out to Zero, double post, just about. Are you kidding me? This ball just has a drive to not land in either net.
Oh dear, we continue on. Petting Zoo looking for any bit of reprieve here. Early jump forcing two into action from Nova, but they've still come away with possession, and Zero does a solid enough job to pick this ball off and keep it going back towards that blue net, but looking for it to hit the back. That's all that matters here for Petting Zoo. Awkward bounce past Gweep, but follow through from the defense for Nova. It's a bit scrambled. They're not finding touches immediately. This could be Petting Zoo's opportunity to jump through, but they've allowed it to get picked off from the corner there. Opportunity goes begging. Another big challenge sent deep into the box. Bit of a giveaway as well. And Nova are really starting to scramble on finding this clear. Petting Zoo have to take this opportunity and strike while the iron is hot, but they can't get in front of the ball fast enough, and they're forced to retreat yet again.
And there's an opportunity as well. You see two savers there from Nova try to kick it away, but still nobody from Petting Zoo can find themselves in the midfield to bring it right back at them, make them punish for that play. Shot's gonna go by the wayside once again. Nova, a lot of these shots that they've been able to rack up just haven't hit the mark, but they still have that lead to work with. Shot off the backboard, get a land in the hands of another shot taker. That one gets away from them. Final one is from Zero, and there's a 1-2-3 combination from Petting Zoo to get back in this game.
They've got their ticket in, playing close to each other, but looking for the shots nonetheless, staying relevant and it's a risk that Petting Zoo have to take moving forward because they are out of series lives here. It is win or go home for 3 games in a row. They don't want to be contending for third place here. The championship is the only thing on these players' minds, and they know they have a right to get into it. They know they've bested Nova 2 before, but to do it in 1 game is enough for Swiss. To do it 3 in a row, a tall task for this squad, but every single goal counts towards getting closer to that mark. And again, they start to push in, but Nova cancels it out. Looking top corner, 0. Solid positioning to take that aside. Petting Zoo now starting to clean up defensively a bit here, being tricked just a touch from Nova, but they see their way through for the time being. They are not out of the woods just yet.
There is something about Nova that when they get scored on, they come back with ferocity, with revenge, it feels like, and they're motivated by that. Look at all the shots they're getting, the long possessions. It's nothing new, but still, the more that Nova play in this game, the better they're going to feel on some of these shots. That's a good elimination there from Duck on the Doogie, but doesn't quell everything from Nova, not quite. They will answer with another demolition and a ball off the backboard as well. Good touch from Duck on the backboard, otherwise that would have been a fired shot to the goal line again. Landing from the ceiling is another Nova shot. A take off the backboard lands away. Nova gotta focus on making these shots a little more clinical as they continue to paint the backboard that is on either side of these posts. 1 minute remaining, all the shots being taken at the net from Nova, and finally, one will land in. Petting Zoo just couldn't keep up with this play.
It's like an extremely large exhale after holding your breath there for Nova. You feel that one coming from a mile away because they had such a massive chokehold from the midfield line. They were allowing Petting Zoo to clear the ball only to take it right back and clear it with twice the speed there, Nova. So now it's Petting Zoo, 40 seconds and counting with their backs against the wall to find at least one to send us to our second OT of the series, or if they can get away with a decisive result. But they've got to show us, and their lead player after the challenge has been demoed. 0 sends through the corner, but unsuccessful there as well. Petting Zoo forced to back up to the mid yet again, but Doogie's got so much momentum all the way up high to the back wall, and look at Nova control this ball. They're flying through, though, pretty aggressively. This could leave some avenues open. Miss from first on Duck, but this one's still going to be centered up of a cross net clear. 5 seconds left, taken to the sidewall. Nova 2, close to closing things up. Corner, it is not down just yet, but all the control in the hands of Powerful Lord, who sends it to an open area, over to the teammate, down to the ground, and Nova 2. Northern Virginia Community College, in sweep fashion, they take down their opponents in the Petting Zoo. They advance as the #1 seed